Jace Tunnell here. Today we're talking about quahog clams. Yep, it's low tide time of year, so it's a perfect time to be able to go out and find you some clams that might even be 40 years old. So let's get into talking about these. We're talking about quahogs. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that here in Texas we actually got these big clams that normally on the East Coast people are trying to find these to eat them and things like that. But look how big these things are. I mean, they're the size of my hand. They're huge. And a couple of times a year you're able to find these whenever the tides go way out. Now we don't have big tides around here like, you know, East Coast or West Coast or something like that where we're having, you know, 5 to 12 feet at a time. You know, our tides are normally 18 inches or something like that. But whenever those low tides come around January, February time frame, the seagrasses get exposed. We also get like oyster reefs get exposed. And whenever you walk along the tidal flat areas where the you find like seagrass and stuff like that, you'll just barely see these little clams sticking out of the surface. There'll be little white tops to them. But if you're able to dig down, you can really see that they are a good size. Now, these things are found in muddy areas like we're in today. I mean, it's black, nasty mud. They don't like fresh water, so you're not gonna find them up in the rivers. You know, you're going to find them closer to the water in the bays where we like to say it's brackish. So you have, that's the mixture of water between salt, full salt in the Gulf, which is probably 34, 35 parts per thousand salinity, and then up in freshwater, which is 0. So there's a mixture in between of the 34 and the 0. And so these are the areas that they like to be in. These things can also live a long time, so you know, up to 40 years, and that's pretty amazing for a clam to be able to live that long. I think really neat. But I've never eaten one. What I'm going to do today, I've got me a little jar, and so I'm going to put them in this jar and set them in there, and so hopefully we'll be able to see them open up and maybe try to move around. They're filter feeders. So as you'd expect, they would open up, bring water in, filter it, clean it, and then spit out, you know, what it doesn't use. But that's a very interesting animal, huh? Okay, so let's see what kind of, how many I can go along and find out here. I'm not going to be digging them up, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk along and kind of count how many I can see. And then a couple of these I'm going to pick up and put in those jars so we can get a closer look at them. Now I just walked up on this. I guess I don't know a lot about clams. This is very odd. There are, look at all these clams all on top of each other here. Is this how they mate or something like that? I have no idea, but there aren't any footsteps around here from people. And I do see some other clams that are buried close to here, as if they all came together like this, and some of them are partially buried as if they actually came together like this. I don't know, this seems very odd. I'm going to look into this. Okay, I did a little digging. Turns out that this is not like a natural thing. I'm guessing somebody came up here and just dumped all these, and so I tried to spread them out a little bit, so hopefully they have a better chance of survival. They'll be fine. They can survive a long time. The tide's going down right now, and so they'll probably be exposed, but the water will come back in about 12 hours or so, and they'll be fine. They'll spread out and start digging down, and they'll end up looking like our little buddy over here. So this is what they normally look like. You know, you can hardly even see them. Just a little bit of white spot, and then they have their siphons for breathing and stuff on the side as it's open. But so anyway, nothing to worry about here. Hopefully they'll be able to survive. Another cool fact about the quahog is that most of them grow up initially as when they're young as male and produce sperm. As they grow and get older and they're ready to start producing eggs, on the millions, the magnitude of millions of them, they turn to female. So they start off as male, turn to female as they get older. Now, what do you think some of the predators might be with these clams? I'm guessing crabs, definitely. That's why these things stay buried in the mud, try to keep away from predators. Birds is another one. There's birds all over the place out here. And of course, humans. We love to eat clams, don't we? So this is a good reason why you probably never have seen these, and especially you didn't know that they were this big. You know, whenever they're in the mud, they're barely visible. When it's low tide like this, they're hard to find, but you walk around, you know what you're looking for, and you're able to find them. Now, I'm out here on Packery Flats, which is on the backside of Mustang Island, and a couple things you need to know about quahog, like if you're going to come clamming. First, you have to have a saltwater fishing license from Texas Parks and Wildlife. So these things are managed shellfish, kind of like oysters. There's a season for them. And so it's like November 1st to, I don't know, April, something like that. You need to look it up, but it's the same as oyster season. The other thing is there are designated areas. So this area I'm in right now, yeah, there's a lot of big quahogs here, but it's actually a restricted area. So you're not able to take from this area. And that has to do with the Texas Health Department. So, you know, there's certain areas where it's not safe to be able to eat shellfish because of toxins, you know, probably heard of Vibrio, you know, some of these things that if you get shellfish poisoning, oh man, it'll change your life. You probably never eat seafood again. It's horrible. But this is one of those areas. And so if you're looking at Corpus Christi Bay, and I'll put a map up here, there's an area on the map that you look towards the bottom. I'll put a red arrow to it so that you can see exactly where I'm located, and then where the other areas are where you can actually shellfish. And so for quahogs, you'll notice that there's an area that has blue dots on it that kind of hashed out. Those are areas that are restricted, and you'll notice it's close by land, because what happens when it rains by land, all this runoff and pollution from our cars and all the pesticides and everything runs off into the water. Well, these quahogs and other shellfish, they're filter feeders, so they're filtering all the water out to be able to get their food, but they can bioaccumulate toxins, and that's what can get you sick. So all these hashed out areas are definitely areas you don't want to eat any shellfish from. So I've shown you what they look like. You know kind of where to look if you're going to go clamming. You know the season. You know you got to have a Parks and Wildlife fishing license, saltwater fishing license to be able to collect. And so I guess just go have fun collecting some quahog. Oh, the other thing is, there is a maximum amount that you can get per day per person, and that's 25 pounds of clams per person. So that's probably a bucket full, I had to guess. But you'll want to be able to weigh it out, because you don't want to go over, because you don't want to get a ticket. So one cool thing I notice whenever I'm walking around through here is that if these clams are even a little bit in the water, they've got their siphon that's coming out, sucking water in, and then also a pipe letting it go out. So they're actually able to go for quite a long period of time. Once that water goes below that, they can close up and wait until the tide comes back up. Now, right now, you'll see my Yeti backpack, all my stuff right here. When I started this video, it was dry. Well, I'd say not dry, but there definitely wasn't water coming up. But so the tide's coming in. Low tide was about 2 hours ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all my wet, muddy stuff and try to get back to, I guess dry ground somewhere. Okay, I gotta go that way through the water. This was dry whenever I came in earlier. So I've got to pass through all that. But anyway, this has been a cool episode. This is not why I came out here. I actually came out here looking for the sea cucumber, which I'm going to have a video on that one as well. But for now, the quahog is what we're talking about. Okay, that's it for this episode of Beachcombing. We'll hope to catch you on the next one. Bye.